Hey everyone, welcome back to the Dice Dojo Gaming and Painting Studio. Today we're going to be talking about CP number 58, Marvel Crisis Protocol, the Lizard, and Kraven. And I'm really excited about both these models, super excited about one of them. So let's see which one it is. Okay, let's, as always, start with the models. So Kraven here, pretty nice. He's got a do not feed the animals little dangerous wall that he's jumping off of. As always, I'm painting these with contrast paints, just getting some basic tabletop standard on the models. I've got to do a little touch up on here, and I'm going to tell you why. So he comes with his foot attached to this brick, okay? So I built him, did him separate, and then went to put him on, and I put him on the wall. Well, the brick is just like a normal brick. It's rectangular, so I didn't really pay a lot of attention, and at the time this wasn't attached to a base, so it was just kind of sitting. So when I had him on here, I had him leaned back this way, coming off the back there, instead of the brick turned forward. So take this brick, pull it out, turn it, and put it down, and he was leaning back that way, which caused the model to be like leaned back like he was doing a matrix dodge. And I tried to kind of like, it's just a jump or whatever, but it looked silly. As you can see, when you're building him, he should be posed forward and coming off of that wall, not stepping back off that way. Luckily, I was able to just pop that brick out and flip it around. I just got to do some touch up on that now to add some more orange back to it. So just be aware of that. As far as for painting, I like the model. He's got nice textures, works really well if you're doing the contrast thing. A little bit of skin tone to show off there, some different textures, furs. You could go, if you wanted to paint this to a high level, you could definitely go a little wild with that. That's not what I'm intending to do with this game personally, but if you're interested in that, you could go pretty far on him. A lot of opportunity there. Now, of the two models, the one that I absolutely love, I don't know a lot about Lizard other than playing with him in a few video games, but he's got this cool like manhole cover he's coming out of with water. They kind of did like a grimy sewage. I just went for more kind of stereotypical, just ocean water sort of thing. We got the sewage lid flip there, and then he's jumping out. He's got some good texture on his pants, his shirt, his lab coat, and then obviously his like lizard-like skin. I was real happy with the effect I got on these. The contrast paints, I just did a couple of the different paints. The Plague Bearer lower down, and then did the Creed Camo Green a little higher up, and then just kind of a blend in the two to meet in the middle. And I'm real happy with the detail and the blend that came off on the face and everything. As far as for one of these quick and dirty paint jobs, most of these take me about 40 minutes to an hour to do. I try to stay somewhere in that window, and this is probably one of my favorite models using the contrast paints that I've come across so far. Used the white, just did a little bit of the wash on that, and then just kind of touched up some areas and re-highlighted it, but real happy with him. He's got a great action pose. He is coming forward a little bit, so when you build this dude, as you can see, he's leaned forward. Exactly where they go was a little nebulous. He didn't have like really stubs or anything, so I just kind of went off the picture. I put that foot there, so you got a couple good contact points, and he is leaned forward though, so make sure, like I've got on mine right here, you can see this is pretty far back, and he's still coming up off the front of that base. So you're probably going to want this back end, if you're angling him like that, either change his pose a little so he's a little more upright, or move this all the way to the back. It's not bad, as you can see from overhead. It's, that looks pretty far, but if you look at something like Kraven, here, his spear and stuff goes over as well. So it's not a deal breaker, but if that's a pet peeve of mine from some older stuff, especially like the War Machine line, some of those old big metal models hanging way off the base, I try to avoid that. So just be cognizant of that. That being said, I really love that model. Like, he's up there with Kingpin as far as for one of my favorite models from this set so far. Now let's check out the cards. Okay, we have Kraven the Hunter. I'm not terribly familiar with this character other than some video game appearances. I didn't ever read the Spider-Man comics, so just kind of knowing him from video games, don't know much about him. He seems kind of just goofy, but that's okay. It's comic books. There's plenty of room for goofy. As far as for profiles here, let's see what he's got. He's 3 cost, which is always great. Seen a lot more 3 costs in the games, opens up some opportunities. 5 health, medium movement, size 2. Physical 3s across the board, pretty commonplace. For his builder, he's got a Kukri Strike, range 2, 5 dice, physical. This is a mini builder, and then he just gets 1 flat power regardless. After this is resolved, the target character gains bleed. Doesn't matter if they take damage, they just gain bleed. After this attack is resolved, character may advance short. So off his basic free attack, he gets an additional movement. That's pretty cool. It gives this guy some definite movement ability here. And off of a medium move, base, being able to do, you know, basic medium movement's nice, or an attack and a short, pretty cool. Spear thrust, range 3, physical as well, 4 dice. After this is resolved, he gains power equal to damage dealt. So this is his full builder, normal build, but range 3 is good. 4 dice for builder, not so impressive. If this character has already attacked the target character during its activation this turn with a Kukri Strike, add 3 dice to the attack roll. So there's some synergies there with Kukri Strike, move, then do a Spear Thrust, and now you're rocking 7 dice. So that's a little more impressive as far as a builder goes. If this character is advanced or been placed during its activation this turn, after this attack is resolved, it may advance medium. So he can do a Kukri Strike, hit somebody, gain a power, potentially making them bleed, advance short. If he does this additional attack against them, it's a full builder attack with 3 extra dice, so he's going to 7. And if he's advanced or been placed during his activation, he can, after this attack is resolved, he can advance again. So he's got some crazy movement while attacking, which is really nice. Okay, so let's check out his superpowers. The first one we have is Corner the Beast. He's supposed to be like a hunter, safari hunter type dude, so that's what this represents. Choose an enemy character within 3 of this character until the end of the next activation. Each time this chosen character advances or climbs, it suffers 1 damage. If the chosen character has the Wallcrawler superpower, it loses Wallcrawler until the end of its next activation. Costs 2, so this makes him like a web warrior hunter. Pretty good at that kind of thing, shutting down those types of characters. Expert Tracker. Choose an enemy character. Allied characters roll 1 additional attack die when targeting the chosen character with attacks this round for 3. So this is kind of like the dog's ability to put a marker on somebody. Again, you can do it multiple times, so there's some value in that. And then Elixir of Calypso. This character may reroll 1 die in its attack or defense rolls. These are the kind of powers I have. A personal, they're great, versatile, always usable, even with rerolls in this game, being able to roll multiple times, you're always going to get use out of it. But I just honestly forget them a lot, especially when it's tacked into the bottom like this. So just be aware that that's there. On his backside, you're looking at the same exact card, some more aggressive art on him, but nothing reinvented. Overall, he seems fine. He's 3 cost character. He's got some specific stuff. I mean, he definitely seems like he's built to hunt Spider-Man. So if the game becomes a little more, oh, I see you have this in your roster, I'm going to take this guy. If you know your opponent's running Web Warriors, there's definitely some use for him. But otherwise, I don't know. He seems okay. And next up, we have Lizard, a.k.a. Curtis Connors. So this is the scientist doc that gets transformed into a lizard creature because everybody in the Marvel Universe gets bug-bitten or lizard hybrided or whatever and turns into monsters, but that's okay. I like Lizardmen from D&D. The monsters are always cool and the models are nice, so I'm kind of, partial to that. He's only 3 cost, 6 health for 3. He's not bad. Medium movement, size 3, so he's a little heftier. Going to come on a slightly bigger base there. Physical defense of 4, that's great for a 3, and then 3 and 3 after that. His builder is his Tail Whip, which is range 3, always good. 4 dice for a builder, not so impressive. Normal builder. He does have a push. If it's size 3 or less, before it is dealt damage, he may be pushed away short, so that's something, but 4 die builder, not so great. Cold-Blooded. Range 2, 7 dice, cost 3. If this attack deals damage after this attack is resolved, target character gains the bleed and slow special conditions. So, again, I'm looking at building him to bleed, so that caught my attention. Anytime you can put multiple conditions on someone, I think that's pretty good. Only costs 3, so that's not too bad. Let's look at his superpowers. Biomechanical Breakthrough. Choose an interactive train feature or an enemy character, both size 3 or less, and within 2, and throw it. Throw it short. Superpower can only be used once per turn. So 3 costs, throw short, but it's size 3, train or characters. A lot more throws are going to train only, so I'm glad that he's able to throw characters and train. I think there's some value in that. Throwing one character into another character, super awesome. Next we have Thick Hide. This character would suffer damage. It's DR1 to a minimum of 1. We've seen that across the board with a bunch of different names, but it's damage reduction 1, but you always take 1. Passive abilities, he has Wall Crawler, and he has Healing Factor 1, so that's great. Healing Factor is always good. So you look at that 4 defense on him. You look at the DR1 and Healing Factor. Surprisingly tough for a 3-cost character. On the back, we see that his health goes down to 5, but otherwise his profile looks pretty similar. Nothing to write home about there. Overall, I love this guy for a 3-cost character. I enjoy the model. I really enjoy characters that can throw. The damage reduction, healing factor lets you use the exceptional healing. So yeah, I think he's great. I'm looking forward to using him. He's simple. There's not a lot. It's not complicated. There's not a lot to remember or anything like that. He's throwing and beating people up and doing that sort of thing. If I could tweak anything a little bit, I kind of wish maybe he had 5th die on the tail whip, or he had a just gain minimum 1 flat damage, something like that. Just the 4-die builders are just always a little bit disappointing, but the range 3 on it is pretty good. And if you build them into the right list or right options, you'll have some additional buffs in place there. Okay, let's check out the Team Tactics cards. This one is Monkey Brain and is Lizard Home. During Lizard's activation, he can spend 3 power to play this card. You may use this attack listed above once this activation. After each attack, target character is pushed away short. So it's a area 2, 5 dice physical attack, pushes everybody away short. So it's not bad. I don't know if it's worth the card, but in certain situations it could be pretty good. I mean, being able to push a bunch of characters is always decent. Neogenetic Recombinator. Spider Foes. Say that 3 times fast. Active. 2 allied Spider Foe characters within 3 of each other may each play this card. One of the characters that played this card may suffer up to 3 damage. Remove damage from the other character played equal to the damage suffered. So you're able to move damage from one guy to another. I don't know if it's not terrible. There's no cost to that. So if you need to move some damage, if you got somebody that's just taking a bunch and somebody you just want to be healing it off with or whatever, I could see some use for it. If it costs power, I definitely say no. But since it doesn't, there's some ability. There's some play there. Spider Foes, reactive. This power is Sinister Traps. This card, excuse me. Any allied character may play this card during their first power phase. Choose an objective token. The first time a character ends a movement within 2 of the objective token, roll 5 dice. Moving character suffers 1 for each crit, swirl, or basically attack. Each successful attack on an attack roll result. If the character suffers damage, it is pushed short. This opponent resolves this push. Character's opponent, so you get to, assuming it hits their guy. So you just want to make sure you don't run into your own booby traps, but being able to booby trap an objective is pretty neat. You're going to do damage to them and push them away. I kind of like that. You just have to remember not to activate your own traps. Last one's Fearful Symmetry. This is the one everybody's talking about. When you get it, it'll be crazy. I don't see it coming up a lot. It's pretty niche. It's unaffiliated. When Kraven the Hunter KOs an enemy Peter Parker, if there is no Peter Parker in your squad, Kraven the Hunter may play this card. Kraven the Hunter transforms into Spider-Man Peter Parker. Replace Kraven the Hunter's statistic card with Spider-Man Peter Parker's stat card with its healthy side up. Move all damage tokens, power, special conditions, objective tokens, and effects from Kraven to Spider-Man. Spider-Man Peter Parker is now part of your squad. So you get to turn him into a Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't know. It's not bad. It's very specific. But I guess if you're using the ability to hunt and to turn off his wall crawling and everything else and you beat him down and then you turn into Spider-Man, that's kind of cool. It's definitely reinforces that narrative, like, niche side of the game. Well, and there you have it. That's everything for CP number 58, Lizard and Kraven. I love the Lizard model. I'm definitely going to be trying to play him. The model's great. Kraven's fine. Not really as much my cup of tea, but they're both good. Another solid, good release. Spider Foe's really starting to rack up some options out there, so I'm hoping to see some Spider Foe play. Be nice to see them maybe get another team ability. I don't know. The existing one doesn't seem fantastic, but I haven't played with it a lot, so I can't say for sure. Well, if you're enjoying the content, please like or subscribe. Let me know. Is anybody else running Spider Foes out there? What are you using? How happy are you with the team ability? Do you wish to see maybe another Spider Foe release in the future? There's enough of them I could see a second leader. If that was the case, who do you think that would be? I've got my money on a few options, but I want to hear what everybody else thinks. Well, until next time, hobby hard.